Coming up on Small Town Big Deal.
Are you having a good time?
Oh my gosh, we're gonna finally see Rodney's legs.
And we visit a family-owned popcorn plant and find out exactly what makes those kernels pop. And then...
Small Town Big Deal cruises the high seas
and introduces American farmers to their Caribbean counterparts.
You fight iguanas and bats?
Yeah, we fight them all.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
And we are in Brookston, Indiana.
Now, on any given weekend, there were probably hundreds of festivals going on around the country. We're going to give you a few hints on which one we're at.
Yeah, well, first of all, they grow a lot of it here.
Ah, there is a kernel of truth in that.
Well, it's irresistible.
Well, we just thought we'd pop on over.
Have some.
Where have you been hiding that?
Welcome to the Apple Popcorn Festival.
Popcorn is certainly worth celebrating here in the U.S. Every year, Americans consume 17 billion quarts of the fluffy stuff. That's enough to fill the Empire State Building 17 times.
That makes us the #1 popcorn-eating country in the world. As for the rest of the globe, well, nearly all of the popcorn they do eat is grown right here in the U.S. And Indiana is the second highest popcorn-producing state in the nation, behind only Nebraska.
So to celebrate the popcorn harvest and honor their local farmers who work so hard to produce it, the town of Brookston, Indiana holds this annual festival.
The town sits in the northwest part of the state, about 75 miles from Indianapolis.
Once I get you up there.
And on the third Saturday in September, it swells from a population of just 1,500 to more than 15,000.
The festival engulfs this charming little town. Walking down Main Street is like going back in time with games and food that harken back to more simple times.
We met up with Shelley Christopher, whose grandmother started the festival exactly 40 years ago.
There used to be an apple orchard in town here, and obviously we wanted to celebrate the popcorn harvest, but they really wanted to bring people to town and to see the local businesses that we had here in town.
Shelley told us we could help the Brookston community by having a good, hearty breakfast at the Brookston Volunteer Fire Department.
The guys look like they could use a break from the griddle, so Rodney and I don some aprons, grab an oversized spatula,
Hope no chefs are watching.
and try to help out.
Is that it? No, that's not.
That's kind of small.
Okay. Wait, what is that?
What's going on here?
That's like a mutant pancake.
Well, just glad we're not very busy right now.
All right, ready? Do you have any idea how many pancakes you will cook?
We serve anywhere between 800 and 1,000 people.
So how much per plate?
$6.
All right, I think we need to donate to the fire department and have something to eat.
Let's try our cooking. What do you say?
Okay, cheers. Oh man, I was gonna cheers him, but he just shoved that right in his face.
And just as we were about to follow the incredible smell of freshly popped popcorn,
Hi, everybody.
Shelley hands us mics to MC their Prince and Princess contest.
I won't give up, no, I won't give in.
Got anything you want to do for us?
All I have is just a double roll.
All right.
What do you call a dinosaur that crashes its car?
got me.
T-Rex.
Ah!
The challenge is getting them to talk.
'Cause I don't want to die.
Challenge number 2, understanding what they say.
I don't want to die, I just want to stay alive.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue. How much do pirates charge for corn on the cob?
I don't know.
A buccaneer. And the bread.
Wow, okay. If I do that, I could have more funnel cake. That's all I'm saying, okay?
How do you get a squirrel to like you? By acting like a nut.
After a long deliberation by the judges, our prince and princess were crowned. Jan and I are dying to eat some of this locally grown popcorn. And the name we kept hearing was Bill Rary.
So, Bill, how long have you been making kettle corn?
Since 2002.
You look pretty good at it there.
I've been working at it for a while.
Then, as the sugar gets hot, it liquefies.
Yes, liquefies, and then when it starts to pop, it cools and clings to the corn. And the speed of your stirring makes a great big difference because it gets on there more even.
While Rodney is finishing off a bag of that kettle corn, I sneak off to enter his name in the final festival contest. Get this, it's the Men's Best Legs contest.
I can't wait for this.
I don't think I've ever shown my legs on this show.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna finally all see Rodney's legs.
If they could do a better job posing, we would like that.
The 10 contestants are working hard to impress the judges, vying for prizes of most tan, most crooked, the hairiest, the ugliest, and the coveted title of the prettiest legs.
There's no chance of me winning the hairy leg contest.
You gotta work it. Come on, work it.
You know, if he does win this contest, oh, ladies, I am never gonna hear the end of this.
Prettiest legs because he worked it so very well. Congratulations.
I was just kind of working it, you know, and got a little knee action going there. A guy's got to do what a guy's got to do.
Well, ladies, like I said, I'm never gonna hear the end of this.
You think he deserves it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Coming up, Jan and I help out in the popcorn fields.
I'm harvesting.
And we visit a family-owned popcorn plant and find out exactly what makes those kernels pop. But first, how high in the air can popcorn kernels pop? Is it 1 foot, 3 feet, or 6 feet? Your answer's next when we come right back. Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. So, how high in the air can popcorn pop? If you guessed 3 feet, you're correct.
We're still in Brookston, Indiana, where a huge amount of America's favorite snack is harvested. In fact, over 500 million tons of popcorn is harvested in Indiana alone. After enjoying the festival, eating a little too much kettle corn, and watching Rodney continue to bask in his big Prettiest Legs contest win, we wanted to learn a little more about this snack that dates back centuries.
We caught up with our good friend Bob Zarcy, a retired farmer who still loves to help out on the multi-generational farm with his son Randy, where one of their main crops is popcorn.
So, Bob, you've been a lifelong farmer. What does popcorn mean to this area?
Well, it's a big economic crop for White County. It's a specialty crop, kind of a prestige thing if you can get a contract to raise popcorn.
Bob told us it's hard to get a contract raising popcorn because it has to be handled very carefully due to the fact that it's for human consumption. One key rule is keeping your combines squeaky clean during harvest.
Speaking of combines, we met up with Randy and his friend Jeff, who also works a family popcorn farm nearby. They brought over their beautiful red and green machines for us to check out.
So how many pounds last year?
We're trying to produce 2 to 3 million pounds a year.
That's more than you can eat even.
You know, that might be just a little bit more than I can eat.
Now, Jeff, you are running a green combine. You know, she grew up on green. Her dad worked at John Deere, and I grew up on IH. So we have this fun battle. So any chance maybe she could get in there and she could drive that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Wait, there's a refrigerator in here.
And I'll be on the red machine, and we'll have a little fun.
Don't hit me.
After Randy gave me a quick refresher on the controls, we were off to harvest.
Jan's on a lot bigger machine than we are. But actually, at the time this combine, they started production on this, it was the largest. Well, they just keep getting bigger, don't they?
Now drive it. It's all you. Just keep the snouts right down the center of it. Come back this way. There you go.
Oh, wait. No, you do it.
Okay, there. It's right on.
Okay, this is a little nerve-wracking. Part of the reason that the combine is so expensive is it does so many jobs.
Yeah.
So it knocks down the stalk, cuts the stalk, pulls off the ear, then very rapidly dehusks it and desilks it.
Yeah, then it takes all these kernels off, and this is what you end with. All that goes out the back of the combine. These kernels go in the bin. So Jan's behind us. What are you thinking? Is Jan having a good time, you think, back there?
I'm harvesting!
I was getting the hang of this and wanted to keep going, but it was already time to offload.
All right, go ahead and nudge it forward.
I could not believe how much popcorn we got from just a few rows.
Jan did a really good job. She may be a Hollywood star, but she knows how to run a combine.
With our corn offloaded, it was time to see how popcorn gets processed. So we head over to Goot Wine Popcorn Company in Francisville, Indiana.
The Goot Wine family has been farming in the area since 1906 and now has a state-of-the-art facility where they process tons of popcorn every year. So what makes popcorn pop? Well, when heat is applied to the kernel, whether in the microwave, the air popper, or a stovetop, the tiny bit of moisture inside the kernel turns to steam, and the steam builds up more and more pressure until it literally explodes.
Every once in a while, there'll be the little ones that don't pop.
Sure.
So why do those decide not to pop?
Well, there would be a reason. Usually there's going to be a scratch on it, or the tip is going to be broke off. And when that goes into a heater in your popper or on the stove, that pressure has to build up. And if there's a crack or in the skin or in the hull, it lets the steam out, so it will not explode, because it's a little explosion.
Now, before any kernels makes it to your local grocery, samples are sucked in through what's essentially a giant straw, and then kernels are tested for moisture. If it meets their high specifications, it's allowed to be stored in their giant bins, where it's air dried for a few months.
There, the kernels go through a myriad of machines that remove any possible debris, like tiny bits of corn stalk. They even have a technology that can detect if a kernel has a scratch and therefore won't pop.
By the way, a good batch of popcorn has a pop rate of 98%.
We'll dump our 250 grams in.
Okay, so it's gonna pop and it's gonna fill this.
Yes.
How far that goes up is what the volume of that particular 250 grams was.
Yep.
Finally, the pop test. This is to make sure that the popcorn expands to a large and fluffy size. It's poppability, if you will. If the tube is too low, the kernels are not expanding enough. Now it's all about getting the moisture level inside the kernel to a perfect 13.5%.
This is as fresh as it gets.
There's no flavoring on it, so.
So it's just pure popcorn.
I love popcorn.
Oh no.
Does it pass your test?
It even tastes buttery without any butter on it when it's that fresh.
Then, like a moth to a flame, Rodney couldn't resist getting his hands on a piece of machinery.
So far I haven't spilled any popcorn. He stacks them perfectly.
How do you know it's a he?
Yeah, well, I don't. It might be a she, I don't know.
I don't know, it's so precise, I'm thinking maybe it's a she.
When that kernel comes here, it's almost ready for human consumption, right?
Basically getting it to the right moisture and then getting all the impurities out.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's such a pure product.
Yeah.
It is.
As somebody who's trying to eat healthier, it's refreshing to know that popcorn has little to no processing and low in calories, which makes it a top choice on my favorite healthy snacks.
We'll see y'all.
Bye!
Really, a 50-pound bag?
You might hold me for a couple weeks.
And coming up next, our boatload of American farmers crosses the Caribbean and sees how different island farming can be.
You fight iguanas and bats?
Yeah, we fight them all.
Welcome back to Small Town Big Deal. So here's something a bit different for us. Jan and I are sailing aboard Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas.
As big as this ship is, it's like a floating small town, and about 200 of these passengers are here as fans of the show and are from small towns themselves.
Reynolds, Indiana. And I'm from Sutter, Illinois.
Louisville, Ohio.
Another thing many have in common is the love of vintage and historic tractors.
The cruise is for them. Small Town Big Deal partnered with Stu Paquette to make it happen.
Stu is the owner of the historic Farmall Tractor Museum in Leesburg, Florida.
They've never seen each other. They don't know each other.
Yeah.
But the stories they got are all the same.
Yeah.
It's about the farm. It's about America. It's about our history, and it's about our farming past.
So I'm going to throw out a few more trivia questions I was thinking of.
Stu and I led some discussions of vintage tractors, keeping that history alive.
On the way to different islands, we do all the things people do on cruises. Eat a lot and be entertained.
And I love Barney Fife, who is actually comedian Rick Roberts.
And you won't have to worry about any kind of security issues on this ship, because I tell you what, I'm on duty.
Let's give it up for Penny Gilly!
And when she starts one of my favorites, I can't resist trying to join in.
What do you think about playing before a bunch of tractor guys?
Oh my gosh. You know, I have such a great appreciation for our farmers and our ranchers. I mean, that's the heart of America.
And here in the heart of the Caribbean lies St. Thomas. It's part of the U.S. Virgin Islands, over 1,000 miles southeast of Miami, and just 80 miles east of San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Hi, welcome to St. Thomas.
So when you got the call that we had all these vintage tractor lovers that wanted to learn about agriculture here, what did you think?
Well, we thought, well, we definitely have vintage.
Farm country here is in those lush green hills, an area called Bordeaux Estate.
About 50 farmers work that land. One of them, Elridge Thomas, welcomes us to the farmers market where they sell their crops on the weekends.
This is excellent. Our folks love this.
And then he invites us to see some farms.
I was impressed with the group that got in the truck.
Yes,
said, let's go.
I know they were really gung-ho, so I was really pleased.
Eldridge has been working his farm since 1976, and the farms here are small. 2 acres is the average. Some of our visitors work 2,000 acres.
My spot is 2.5 acres, but 2.5 acres is a lot of land, It can keep you working every day. Going to be going up that hill.
Every day, it's up and down the hill. No tractors, no machinery here. Everything's done by hand.
Now, this avocado tree is not there yet. She's here about more than 25 years. The chainsaw is calling her. The chainsaw is calling her because she's not doing her job. She's not bringing any fruits. Right here, I'm doing a little bananas. I'm doing a little papaya in between them. There's a pomegranate, the fruit that's hanging on the tree here.
Did our group have good questions?
Yeah, that was not too bad.
I think that they learned about that you fight iguanas and bats.
Yeah, we fight them all.
But Eldridge faces one of the same hardships as his visitors, bad weather.
Well, in the 70s, I went through 2 tropical storms. Then I went through 2 major hurricanes. This tree was chopped down 2 times. And then they come back up again, and we keep going.
Today, the harvest is mangoes.
I didn't bring them just to show them off. We're going to cut them up and you're going to get a sample of it. The long-term goal is for us to produce good quality food for our people, but at the same time, we're making a means of living, a good, decent living.
Whether you're farming 2 acres on St. Thomas or 2,000 acres in the middle of America.
In the end, what's clear to all is everything they have in common: the love of the land, the love of farming, and the kinship it creates.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Small Town Big Deal. You know, for me, Jan, the best part of the cruise was getting to spend time with other antique tractor lovers.
For me, it was seeing the instant bonding of our farmers with the St. Thomas farmers. You know, and then in Indiana, I was thrilled to celebrate my all-time favorite top-notch snack, popcorn.
Yeah, I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl.
Join us again next week when once again we celebrate the great stories from across America. Hey, I was just kind of working it, you know, and just moving it and acting like I was in a, you know, showing a little knee. Got a little knee action going there.
I can't mend a broken heart, but I can fix your clutch. I'm a guy.
I'm a guy.
Yeah. I did good.